The first rumors spread across the spiral like drifting ash carried by a silent wind. Whispers slipped through merchant lanes and border. Channels, caravans repeated the words with growing alarm. Humans were moving, not colonizing, not exploring, not asking. They were repaying a debt. Most in the wider sphere did not understand what that meant. Some claimed it was another boast of the strange newcomers from a blue world. Others believed it was only a diplomatic gesture. Those who had glimpsed even a sliver of humanity's history understood that the phrase carried a weight heavier than alloyed stone. When humans declared a debt, they meant it. When they declared repayment, the whole cosmos braced itself. The story began many cycles earlier when a small fleet from a minor frontier species known as the Nellari found itself trapped in an ion storm. Their engines failed there. Hulls cracked. A pirate faction closed in. Nothing in the region could have saved them. Then a human patrol vessel appeared. It should not have been there. Its course made no sense. Its timing was too precise. Yet it arrived. The humans assisted the Nellari. They offered repairs. They shielded the smaller craft. They drove off the raiders, the Nellari leader. A quiet thinker named Ralvin bowed in gratitude. He offered the words that mattered most in Nellari culture. "We owe life to you. We will honor this debt." Humans responded with a gesture just as meaningful. "We accept your trust." From that point onward, humans considered the Nellari under their informal protection. It was not a treaty. It was not a pact. It was a simple understanding. It was more powerful than either. Cycles passed, regions changed hands. The spiral grew more tense. Trade wars turned into border skirmishes. Most ignored the Nellari. They were peaceful. They posed no threat. They had few resources. But one faction saw an opportunity. The Korred Dominion sought to expand its sphere and crush any species that lacked military power. The Nellari lived on the exact route the Dominion wanted. They refused to leave. They had nowhere else to go. Their request to the Council for protection was denied. Nobody wanted to provoke the Dominion. Nobody wanted to defend a peaceful people. Nobody wanted to remember that the humans had once accepted their trust. The Dominion struck. The Nellari world was invaded. Cities were set aflame. Families fled into mountain caverns. Ralvin was captured. The Council issued a statement of regret. Their ships never moved. Their aid never arrived. Their voices never rose beyond polite dismay. The Nellari cried out for rescue. Silence answered, except from one direction. The humans heard. The message reached Earth quietly. A translated distress call carried only one phrase: "We ask help from the ones who accepted our trust." Human leadership did not hold debates. They did not schedule meetings. They did not file forms. They acted. A single line appeared in their strategic command record: the debt acknowledged. Repayment required within a day. The sky above Earth filled with departing ships. Thousands of vessels rose from orbital docks. Factories switched to emergency output. Old war platforms were reactivated. Entire fleets mobilized. There were no speeches. There was no grand announcement. Humanity moved with the calm efficiency of a sleeping giant, opening its eyes. The Council panicked. They sent envoys to Earth. They begged humans to reconsider. They said the incident was unfortunate, but not worth destabilizing the region. They insisted that the Nellari were not strategically important. They warned that confronting the Dominion could ignite conflict. Human representatives offered a simple reply: "We repay debts." The Council realized nothing they said could alter the course of events. A storm was already forming. A human fleet, unlike anything the spiral had seen, was preparing to leave port. The humans divided their forces into 3 segments. The Vanguard Fleet, commanded by a stern officer named Bram; the Rescue Fleet, led by a calm strategist named Lin; and the Shield Fleet, organized by a quiet soldier named Ro. Every ship carried full complement. Every craft was armed. Every crew member moved with deliberate purpose. The Dominion monitored the mobilization. They dismissed it at first. Humans were new to the wider sphere. They had never demonstrated large-scale military reach. They were known for diplomacy. They preferred cooperation. The Dominion believed. The humans would bluff. They failed to understand the nature of a declared debt. By the time their analysts realized the humans were serious, the fleets were already accelerating through the void. The Dominion launched warships to intercept. They assembled fortifications across Nalari space. They reinforced occupied sites. They strengthened orbital platforms. Every move they made was logical. Every strategy they deployed was sound. None of it mattered. The first human fleet arrived in silence. The Vanguard fleet dropped out of faster transit directly above the Dominion's forward line. Scanners failed. Comms flickered. Human ships projected. Fields that bent sensor arrays. Dominion commanders shouted orders. Weapon banks activated. Bram gave a single signal. The human fleet moved. They advanced with calm precision. Their formation shifted like a single organism. Missiles cut through shields. Directed energy pierced armor. Human vessels did not slow. They did not roar. They did not taunt. They simply advanced. Dominion ships broke within minutes. Their lines collapsed. Their captains realized something was deeply wrong. Humans were not matching their firepower. Humans were surpassing it. The Dominion forces attempted to retreat. Human ships outmaneuvered them. Some tried to surrender. Bram allowed it. He was stern but fair. Word of the battle scattered across every broadcast channel. The Council watched in disbelief. They had believed humans were years away from such capability. They had never imagined that humans had trained quietly behind their diplomatic presence. The Dominion panicked. The rescue fleet under Lin approached the Nalari world from a different vector. The Dominion expected them. They fortified the orbital perimeter. They placed hostages near defense stations. They predicted a human assault. Lin examined the situation calmly. Her ships disabled orbital batteries without harming those in captivity. She used containment pulses to disable Dominion engines. Her fleet executed maneuvers that Dominion tacticians would later study with a mixture of fear and admiration. Within an hour, the Nalari skies were clear. Ground forces followed. Human soldiers touched down in coordinated teams. They moved through burning cities. They shielded families. They dismantled blockades. They freed captives. When Lin found Ralvin, she gave a respectful nod. We repay the trust given to us. Ralvin bowed again with tears in his eyes. The Nalari would tell this moment for generations. The shield fleet under Roe held the border. Dominion reinforcements arrived. They attempted to flank. They attempted to breach. Every attempt struck a wall of human defense. Roe coordinated fleets with calm authority. Her strategy turned the entire region into a protective barrier around Nalari space. The Dominion Council realized they were facing not a fight, but an awakening. They sent demands. They threatened. They attempted to negotiate. Humans did not seek conquest. They demanded only one thing: withdraw from Nalari space. When the Dominion hesitated, humans added another line: repayment continues until debt is complete. The Dominion withdrew. The galaxy trembled, not because humans had destroyed a major faction, not because they had projected force across such a vast region, but because they had done all of this for a peaceful species that had offered them nothing except gratitude and trust. The Council called an emergency session. Representatives shouted. Some wanted to sanction Earth. Others wanted to appease them. Many simply feared them. A quiet realization settled across every chamber. Humans were unpredictable. They were loyal to a degree that defied logic, and loyalty was far more frightening than aggression. Trade networks shifted. Frontline commanders recalculated their strategies. Old rivalries dissolved out of caution. Every species analyzed the event. One question repeated across the spiral: if humans repaid a debt like this, what would they do if someone harmed a world they loved on the liberated Nalari world? Ralvin stood before the assembled crowd. Humans prepared to depart. They did not seek tribute. They did not demand territory. They left the world in peace. Ralvin raised his voice. Why did you do all this? Bram answered, "We accepted your trust. We repay what we accept." When the humans departed, they left behind a galaxy changed forever. Reports spread of how calm they were, how organized, how relentless, how impossible to stop once their minds settled on a goal. A phrase began circulating across the spiral, a warning, a reminder, a truth carved into the memory of every species. If humans owe you a debt, they will cross the stars to repay it. If they decide to repay it in force, pray you are not the reason it became necessary. But among the Nalari, a different phrase blossomed, a hopeful one. A universe with humans is a universe where loyalty still lives. Human fleets returned home quietly. No celebration, no parades. They resumed their lives. They continued their work. The spiral held its breath. Nobody dared test them. Nobody dared provoke another debt. Humans understood something the wider sphere had forgotten. Power meant little without purpose. Honor meant little without action, and a debt meant everything from that day forward. The galaxy remembered a single lesson. Humans may seek peace. Humans may offer cooperation. Humans may endure insult. But if they give you trust, if you give them trust in return, they will repay it, no matter the cost. And that simple truth made the entire galaxy tremble in dread.